the Iraq Study Group, once you get into not only the nooks and crannies of the actual report, but when you hear what the panelists are saying, the people that are the members of the study group are saying, they leveled Bush. They pulverized them. I mean, they're like, look, I don't know how many times we got to say this and in how many different ways. Iraq is not working.
That's why.
It's bad. It's terrible. Your strategy didn't work. Change now.
That's why I think that my point yesterday will win out over the point of someone far smarter than I. And I mean that sincerely. That's not my way of deferring and pretending to be magnanimous. Fred Kaplan has got a good sense of what's going on, and he essentially said that the Iraq study group, what was his line he used? That they just they pulled the string. They didn't go all out.
They pulled their punches to some degree.
They pulled their punches to some degree, but it doesn't matter. And I'm sure he's right. Mm-hmm. But the storyline that is developing now over 2 days is that the Iraq study group has just dealt Bush this gigantic backhand. Mm-hmm. And that message is going to be, I think, more important than the specifics of the Iraq study group.
I think you might be right about that, Ben. So here are two commissioners who are both, I keep calling them commissioners, two members of the study group who are both Republicans, okay? Quote from Alan Simpson, former Republican senator. He says he condemns, quote, 100%ers in America who refuse to compromise. Then he says, and it's so clearly talking about President Bush, he says, quote, 100%er is a person you don't want to be around. They have gas, ulcers, heartburn, and BO. I mean, my God, the man saying, is a former Republican senator saying pretty much that the president has BO because the man won't compromise.
Right.
Now, then we turn to Eagleburger.
Lawrence Eagleburger, former Undersecretary of State.
Yes, also a Republican. He says, when they met and talked to the president about the recommendations of the Iraq study group, he said, quote, I don't recall, seriously, that he asked any questions.
Yeah, look, I don't. Who is, Mary Matlin, and mainly Mary Matlin is who comes to mind, hence the incomplete thought after and. As one of the sort of folks who go on television and go through the pointless machinations of how, fine, go ahead, underestimate the president's intellect. You don't understand.
Yeah.
No,
yeah,
Mary.
I know. The problem for the country is that I don't understand how bright the president is. Yeah.
How many times do we need evidence from people who are in meetings who don't dislike the guy, who say, or don't come at it as looking to be a political enemy of him, who say, he didn't ask a question. I mean, the Iraq War has been a giant failure. It may plague his presidency. It will plague his presidency probably throughout history. And these very smart guys get together under the mandate of the United States Congress and do this, arguably offer him some sort of out, even. And he doesn't even ask, how do I make this happen? He doesn't even say, how can I withdraw and claim victory? Nothing. He just, no, that's a good point.
No, but it's just, I'm going to stay on that for one more second before we give you the other devastating quotes. Doesn't ask a single question? Iraq Study Group comes in with 79 recommendations. They studied this for 9 months, 5 Republicans, 5 Democrats. These are the elders of the parties. These are the so-called wise men, whether you think they're wise or not. My God, they come at you with all this, even if you hate it. You love it, you hate it, you're, in between on it, you're not sure which recommendations to take or not take, and you don't ask a single question? No, come on. President Bush he's not up to the job. He's just, he's not equipped intellectually. He doesn't know how to do his job. He doesn't realize that when an issue this serious, one that will be determinative of his presidency, and forget his stupid presidency and his legacy and how he'll be seen or whatever. There are people dying on the ground every day. Forget the thousands of Iraqis dying. There are American soldiers that he sent in that are dying and having their legs and arms blown off, and you don't ask a single question? That's awful. Awful. And even if you're a Republican, you cannot justify that.
And, when you said forget the thousands of Iraqis, I think mission accomplished.
Yeah, they have forgotten that. Yeah. Unfortunately, they certainly have. So now James Baker finally says, asked about the Iraqis that he has not forgotten. He says, they're struggling in a world of fear. The Iraqis themselves dare not dream. They don't even have any hope. They dare not dream because they're struggling in a world of fear. And then he says, look, what is our current Iraq policy is, quote, no longer viable, and that in Iraq there is nothing but, quote, brutal violence. How much clearer do they have to be?
You know, and how many times do we have to hear Tony Snow, and I don't want to hear one more person talk about, oh, he's so good he is at his job. How much better he is than, including me. He might be better than Scott McClellan. I think Scott McClellan tried, and, you know, a little bit. Look, it's a pointless comparison. They both sucked. But, well, look, there's violence in and around, Baghdad and some other areas, but 13 provinces, they're happy-go-lucky. They're flying kites.
They literally say that the Iraqis are flying kites. It's unbelievable.